The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And welcome to a beautiful Wednesday, September 19th. It is Talk Like a Pirate Day here at TFNN and across the nation. Some tips if you want to talk like a pirate is you have to growl a lot. Rrr, me mateys. Rrr, use pirate lingo. I'll have you keel hauled, me laddie. Rrr. I growl and pirate lingo together. See, I'm putting that together. Gesture with your hands frequently. Arr! Too bad I needed a stabbing device or something. Sure, slur your words together. I do that normally, but I guess a little adult beverage wouldn't hurt at all. And most definitely never say you. It's your, ye, ya. So, you scurvy land-loving, and, well, now I'm going to have to growl, and, well, what else? I don't know. I haven't talked like a pirate enough this year. I have to. Of course, if any of you live around Tampa or have been to Tampa, we always have the giant Gasparilla Festival, where we have millions and millions of pirates downtown. And pirate ships go around, of course, on four wheels being towed. But we have a kind of a neat thing called the Gasparilla Festival. And it's a little bit Mardi Gras and just craven debauchery in the streets of Tampa. Every, February? January? Something like that. But very good. The big deal here in town, let me put it that way. So too bad that Talk Like a Pirate Day didn't come in that same time, but everybody's already doing it already. Groupon versus Square. We've talked about Square on the show. It is not a public company yet, but one of the fastest growing companies in Silicon Valley. We suspect that it will be going public in the next year. They've gone from doing about 1 billion shares at the beginning of the summer to about 5 billion shares at the end of the summer. We're looking at them continually growing at that pace. They are the folks that make little card swipers so you can charge stuff on your phone. Very convenient for people, let's say if they come out to fix your air conditioning or do some work to your house or something like that. These guys can just swipe your card, charge your credit card, and everything's cool. Kind of like a PayPal-like thing. But they just handle, especially for small companies, and mobile devices, taking credit card payments. I think you can do it as an individual. So literally you could lend me some money by giving me your credit card. I don't recommend it, but that's the kind of deal, but kind of like the PayPal of credit cards. Groupon's trying to roll out a payment service identical to Square. The question is just how far are they going to get? A lot of people are very worried about Groupon's chances going forward, looking at their stock price, especially with larger companies that have to work with them. We'll keep an eye on them. If they were successful, maybe they could get out of that horrible place that they are now. But a lot of people do not like the CEO, do not like the company. Normally that is not a good recipe for figuring it all out. What else do we have going on? Jim Chanos, he is the famous investor that kind of found the fraud in energy stock in Texas. Oh, now I've got so maybe somebody in the den. Enron, that's what I'm thinking. Figured out the problems with Enron's accounting and made a boatload on that. And he kind of made his what they like to say, your bones. I guess I have to say that in a pirate way. Your bones, matey. Anyway, Jim Chanos oversees about $6 billion. Got most of that in the last 10 years since, making a huge, giant sum on Enron. says that he now is finding more companies to bet against in the U.S. stock market, and finds that he's looking at several companies, and it will not matter how well the economy does or how much money Ben Bernanke throws from windows and passing cars, that some are destined for failure. I guess his biggest short position at the moment is coin, but he said he's found 3 or 4 others that he will be going out against on the short side of the market here. And he said just over the last couple of weeks, a lot of these have popped up. Of course, he's more of a long-term. He's going to be short maybe a year and a half on these shorts, and given enough time to play out. He's not going to be playing these for a day or two, but does look very interesting, he says. Losers out there today, Clack, RIM, AMAT, what was it? MAT. It's the game company. G.I. Joe and all that. I'll think of it again. I'm having a brain freeze here today, I think. Winners out there, we've got GMRC, SanDisk, Riley Auto Parts, MNST, Win, and Expedia. Mattel, yes, that's what it was, one of the losers out there. A lot of these were the losers yesterday, and a lot of the losers were the winners yesterday. So we have a market that's pretty, it's probably wrapped as tight as, I can't give any good examples right now that come to mind. Anyway, what else we have? Zillow is bearish. Zillow is reporting a slowdown in recent house price appreciation after 9 months of continuous gains. The decline, they said, was marginal, but they think it's consistent with a slow seasonal period, and it is difficult in difficult real estate conditions. They suspect that now that we're back into the school season, they are looking for house sales to slow just a bit, but they think that maybe we've hit a high here for a while. Scott Hunsader, who's been a guest of this show before, he's the guy from Nanex that showed the cause of the flash crash early on. I think he was in the first, 4 or 5 months of this show when it was just a radio and not even a video podcast. But as we went pretty much through a lot of how things work in flash crashes, we saw part of that yesterday. Between 150 and 155 in the crude market, there was very interesting trading. And I remember, if I read the article correct, he said that half the contracts were traded within that 5-minute segment. That he believes that somebody really large was in. I'm reading between the lines, and I think that it was the Treasury actively going against gold longs yesterday, and they were enough to break a lot of the people that were on one side of the market. Of course, all they needed to do was get the ball rolling, and everybody else was more than willing to hop on. We continue to see that roll through today with another $3, $3.62 down on the December contract. So kind of interesting on what we see in crude out here, but I suspect we've got a very activist government now, and not a lot of people could be willing to take the risk that it took to break crude over the last couple of days. Of course, we started off with a rumor that the Strategic Petroleum Reserve wasn't actually or was going to be released. Everybody thought that that was a no-starter, so after breaking a little on that news, they had to go after it hard yesterday. But very interesting trading. He was on CNBC today. The host was kind of a jackass to him. I just said, well, you know, if you don't have quants, then what good are you? Basically saying that we couldn't make money unless we hired a bunch of quants and lived on Wall Street. But I think Scott defended himself well. What else do we have out here? 20-fold spike in volume, he said. One of the other things that I found very interesting on gold is that we are having gold counterfeiters coming in to America. It's not anything new in Asia. They've been doing it for a while over there, but we're starting to see them show up now in the United States. And what they are doing is taking a little bit of gold and wrapping it in tungsten. Tungsten, of course, the material they use in light bulbs, and it's about $1 a pound. So they basically take out about $14,000-$15,000 worth of gold and get the tungsten to sit in the center and put a nice gold coating on it. Come out with real serial numbers and stamps from legitimate operations and sell these 10-ounce bars worth about $18,000 if it was truly 100% full. But it's kind of the, what is that, the Three Musketeers, filling it up with peanuts instead of chocolate, kind of the same thing. There's still enough gold, about $3,600 surrounding it, but they're making about $14,000 a bar by running around and selling this stuff. And apparently some of these are showing up from legitimate operations. Tungsten weighs very, very close. And if you don't have very accurate scales, you would not know the difference between it. And, of course, they make it just a little larger, so it does come out at 10 ounces. But the one thing you need to do with these 10-ounce bars is drop them in some water, do some displacement, and make sure that the mass works, not just the weight. So it's becoming more and more critical to make sure that you know what you've got. And that's kind of pretty much all we have for news here today. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. We'll gladly talk about your particular stock, what else you want to talk about. But we certainly enjoy callers. We're going to go to charts a little bit early here today. Normally I have a little bit more to talk about. And wanted to see, we've got Apple. Probably wanted to look at that first. Everybody that I watch, I kind of use my nice TiVo-like Verizon disc device and high speed through the day of CNBC, so I don't have to spend a lot of time mulling over what is pretty much a cultural wasteland of editorial calls that are mostly self-serving. But occasionally, the most thing I'm interested in is just how many people come in and scream that they're a bullish, and I'm seeing pretty high bullish recommendations, but not so much more than Apple. Pretty much everybody on there, well, I wouldn't short it, I'm long. What I dislike is we're getting to shipping day here, which is going to be Friday. A lot of people are already trying to track their iPhones that are supposed to show up for Friday delivery or Saturday delivery. We've got some reviews out there already of them, but kind of surprised that we're not seeing just a little bit more action in here. Looks to me like they've already set up options to expire, and they'd love this to expire at $700 on Friday for all the options that are on it. Would probably be the best scenario for those option riders to get out right at $700. Anyway, we'll be back and talk a little bit about the CNET review of the iPhone.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her Small Cap Roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kay Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, we've got a stock halted, and that's Questar Pharmaceuticals. It seems like everything always comes out of left field, but looks like Aetna is dropping coverage of one of their drugs. I couldn't find out which drug it was, but it's very interesting. It is halted. Looks like it got down to $22.26, but going to be talking about that a little bit more. Maybe if we get some news in the exact which drugs Aetna is no longer going to cover from Questar. They make a kind of a smorgasbord of drugs. I don't know exactly how it comes out, but they make multiple sclerosis drugs, nephrotic syndrome, infantile spasm indications, a HP gel injectable drug for the treatment of acute exacerbations of multiple sclerosis in adults. Must be that drug. I'm trying to get a cut breakdown of what they do. The company's gel is sore joints, including collagen diseases, rheumatic disorders. Now, anyway, looks like that they are going to have some problem to going forward. If your insurance company does not cover you, you're probably not getting that drug, or you'll probably try to get another one if it's useful. I wonder if it has any useful information. We want to go back and check on some of them. We were talking about OIS for the last few days, maybe setting up a top in gold. It didn't quite get there, but it was on very high light volume. What was it? 2 cents short, something like that. The February 24th high on Oil States, one of the better looking companies out there. We were also looking at OIH and some of these looking like they were getting awful toppy. OIH didn't make it back. Not a whole lot of volume yet so far. A lot of discussion that the Treasury is involved in trying to manipulate at least the short-term pricing on oil and crude. Wanted to check a few others here while we had time. Next few minutes of the break to get into. And then we're going to look at some winners and losers. LinkedIn, another one looks to me like it's going to try to expire out at 125 this week, maybe 120. Looks like it's kind of stuck in a range for expiration, but I'd say right now 125 looks like where it wants to go. Earnings the end of October, and I wanted to check on one more. What was it? We're looking at Click and Clack and some of the other manufacturers today. AMAT, continue to see these look like they're going to pull back into the gaps that were underlying them, like Click and Clack. SMH is also not giving us a real clear signal, but also they look like they could easily come back to its gap, which is around, 31 bucks. Not a huge move on it, but certainly looks like we're seeing continued weakness. And we don't have a huge sign of strength in all this move up on the SMHs, but looks to me like we could get back into those levels fairly quickly. When we get back, we're going to look at a couple other ones that look like maybe they've had their best move ahead of them. And let me just check what we have here real quick on volumes. Last I looked, volumes were fairly light for the day. Let me pop those up real quick. 2.1 billion shares, probably going on 2.2 billion shares here fairly quickly. So not as bad, but look for about 3.2 billion shares on the day. I suspect that options expiration rollover is going to be pretty much completed by tomorrow, and looking for a light Friday, with the exception of a few stocks out here we're going to be watching. It looks like there's a lot of people trying to get these things to break out at exactly the worst possible numbers to destroy as many of the options as possible. One of those, I want to look at Amazon, AMZN. Notice that some of the marketeers out there are finally starting to pay attention to Amazon and the fact that they are losing a lot of states that they previously had that they weren't paying taxes. They are going to now, and what that's going to do for them. But very light volume, especially when you look back into the 6th of the month, and just the continued lower and lower volume as we reach for these highs. Looks like 260 would be a pretty good number for this thing to expire at for options on Friday. But we'll have to take a look at it as we come back. We're going to go to a lot more stocks here quickly and look at the winners and losers today. Give me a call, 877-927-6648.
You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
We're going to go through some of the winners and losers in the NASDAQ. Yahoo, kind of surprisingly enough, actually not doing as poorly as a lot of people would think. They keep on, let's see if I can get this going correctly here. There we go. And move it along. And we got Viacom, Monster. A lot of these winners are just losers as of late that are MNST. Monster Beverage is one of them that have been coming down fairly hard. And, of course, just a little bit of short squeezing into one. A lot of these are trying to make it back to a strike price for options. In this case, I suspect Monster Beverage is trying to expire out at $55 for this Friday. We've continued to see strong volume down, a little pop out of this, but doesn't look like Monster is going to I guess it's at a support level around $50, but I would suspect you've got a higher volume low on September 13th, 7.2 compared to the previous low of 6.9 million shares. So you probably need to get down into that gap. Once again, that gap actually started on the 17th of January and popped up, not on that much volume, but it was significant, and has acted as support as we've gotten back into these last two places. Trying to remember why Monster was having so many problems, but kind of hard to tell. What else do we have? Green Mountain Coffee Roaster, another one that's popping up. GM, I think we looked at this yesterday. Of course, just a bounce in a downtrend. GM CR still in that. I'm looking at that. Is that correct? I guess just little moves in this actually are doing significant moves. But 3.8%. I guess maybe that's right. WYNN, W-Y-N-N. Haven't heard from them for a while. Let's see if we can get anything. Those guys have pretty much done a 50% retracement of their movement down. Let's take a quick look at it. Hey, not too bad for just eyeballing it. 0.546 retracement, so maybe it'll get back up to 618. You had some strong volume a few days ago, 4 days ago, or at least 4 trading days ago. But as we've gotten up into here, again, like the rest of the market, not a great deal of volume. This thing went from $138.28 down to a low of $90.11 on July 26th, setting up just a retracement in a down move, it looks like. We still would need to get back down and test probably that $90 area, or at least the gap back up at 94. I would imagine before this would be a decent trade, and you need it to come back down on lighter volume. Energy up so far is not a whole lot to scream about, but we're getting a lot of these short covering rallies. On the 14th, we did have a nice little bounce with the first time some volume, which was what? Volume was what? 3.4 million shares, but nothing since then. The last next 3 trading days. But if this is an ABC, it would give you a projection right now on a 1-to-1 down to $68.22. Let's see what else we have. SNDK. And we're looking at this one again. I think we brought this up earlier, maybe yesterday, and we continue to look at this. But this is the pattern that seems to be prevalent out there, and that is the huge gap downs trying to get filled over this week on very light volume. That part, it came down on the, March or April 4th on fairly large volume of 27.5 million shares. We're getting into it over the last few days on 4.1, 2.8, 3, and 4 million shares as we get back into that gap level. Energy was about 50% of the way back up. So SanDisk, actually, if you could get eat a little bit more of that, may be a fairly decent play. One of the ones that did come up on very light volume back to fill this gap. Of course, SanDisk, the maker of a lot of memory for thumb drives, that kind of stuff. And we'll see how they continue moving over the next couple of days. I suspect that they're going to be trying to expire this thing somewhere around $45 for Friday, so not a whole lot of money in it. Expedia, EXPE. Another one on it, same thing, except I wouldn't say on monster volume. It's kind of in a trading range, bouncing around the gap down that happened on July 8th, or August 8th. August 8th, it came down on some decent volume, 7.8 million shares. Tried to get into that on September 14th with 2.4 million shares. As we look at this, it did have a sign of strength that set up the bottom. So we've got a fairly narrow trading range. That August 31st low of $50.47 Looks like it sets up support. This stock looks like it could be channeling here for a while between the $50 and $57 range as this thing sets back up. Again, a lot of these look to me like they're setting up, as you watch them trade, at least the intraday tape, setting up to expire on round digits. In this case, the 55s look pretty sweet as the place this thing wants to expire on Friday. O'Reilly Auto Parts, we brought this up a little bit yesterday. Let's check in once more with this. O'Reilly Auto Parts, just a little bit more pull. We continue to see these auto part makers being a little quizzical. You want to look at AutoZone. AutoZone, nice little kind of retrace from Friday's big sell-off. Volume actually even a little better today. I didn't check to see if we had any headlines on it, but kind of interesting reversal. Now, normally you want to see these back-to-back, but that pattern, if it holds, maybe we get a little stronger before the end of the day. A lot of times they're called railroad tracks in candlestick charting. Could be close, not exactly what you want to see. Data boy stocks, AutoZone, cutting drives bigger profit, stocks gain. So it's some kind of cost-cutting thing that they're announcing today as soon as it got a little bit weak. I was trying to pull up that article while we look. Let's see if I can't get one more. The railroad tracks are candles normally that go from bearish to bullish or bullish to bearish. So normally you have a dark candle next to a white candle, or a white candle next to a dark candle, basically seeing and showing almost instant rejection of lower prices. Of course, a lot of these stocks have been fairly strong. I can't get that article for some reason. Got a little problem here with my internet. Okay, and AutoZone EPS beats, but sales miss. Here's a better one, just so I can look at it. AutoZone witnessed a 18% rise in early trading today. $8.46 a share in the fiscal fourth quarter ending August 25th from $7.18 per share in the corresponding quarter last year. So up healthily. Company's earnings surpassed Zacks consensus estimate of $8.39. So what, 5 cents, 7 cents higher. But I would imagine from Friday's action, a lot of shorts getting in on that. But certainly looking like when you look at these lows, you would have liked to seen a lot higher volume. You did have a 2 million share low that came in on June 27th. 2.1 million shares. Of course, even with the huge candle down, you only had 1.7 million shares in that. But that could be very interesting. This is kind of pattern you like to see for a consolidation. We talked a little bit about how a lot of the sales from Chrysler and General Motors were being driven by what are now known as subprime loans. About 25% of them over the last 6 months are now really starting to become a huge part of selling retail cars that have been built in America. So maybe there's something in there. Anyway, it did hit, looks like with 375 as a high today. The more that these two candles would come up and look almost identical, of course, but different colors because of an up day to a down day, would be very interesting. Looks this kind of candle, pretty good indication that a lot of people were short this stock and slowly rolled over from this morning to this afternoon on a positive bend. But we'll continue looking at that. And where else? Go through some of these others here real quick. Starbucks 2% move, and some others. Let's look at some of the ones that haven't done so well today. Clack, we were talking about that. Again, nice little pop. We were talking about how all these other AMATs were all doing well. I think it finally rolled on over to Click and Clack. I wonder how Click did today. Click. Yeah, not near as bad, but still bad. Both of these do look like they're going to go back into some previous gaps. The volume's strong enough on KLR 10 core today to make me think that the next stop down for this thing is going to be in the $44 range. Come back down to the gap. That gap was set up. It's been tested twice. Unfortunately, this is exactly why you don't want to be long these particular stocks when you've got a higher volume low coming into a lower volume low. You did have a nice pop-up that started this gap. That gap up was on 3.7 million shares back from the 30th of last year in November. And let's see what we go back here. So fairly strong back at 2.6 million shares on June 4th. You get into it with 5.5 million shares on July 10th. You would have liked to seen that even shrink further to conclude that that consolidation area was over. We did go back up into a previous high again on light volume. That high was April 26th. At $55.43 on 5.1 million shares. The strongest you got was 1.8 million shares, and this thing started rolling over fairly strongly. Today's high volume will probably be an exhaustion move. You might get a nice ABC starting to form up here to get us back into that $44 range, but I think you need to get down at least to $44.77 on lighter volume one more time. Even if you are bullish on this thing, to start taking a look at it. RIM, it was off. It was up on kind of bogus rumors of a wonderful deal with Microsoft that ended up not being quite the slick deal everybody thought. So, let's see what else we have. Take a look at Matt. We talked about that earlier in the show. One of the ones that are actually dropping. Not so much volume so far. See if we see anything else. This thing did have one huge sign of strength that gapped up and took us through the top of the trading range. That was on, June 17th. Popped up with 13.1 million shares. And that gap has not been retested. Really looks like this wants to pull back, at least come back into that gap. Might not be a bad trade, not a huge load of money, but going into the Christmas season, probably not a bad bet, but it looks like it's going to get back to the $32.50 range. Just coming back to test that wonderful gap up. Let's see what else we have. Marvel, MVRL. The maker of chips, if I can type correctly, which I can't, MRVL, the maker of chips. I think someone actually called in on this a while back. I thought that this thing probably had a ways to go in consolidation. Not exactly sure why this thing is on my list here. I guess so few things are moving today. But an interesting pattern. I call this one the Lazarus pattern, where it looks like it's kind of dead. A lot of times this is a good indication that you've got someone starting to step in. You had a high volume low. You need to have this thing close back up above $10.75. I think that's, what was the high that day? 1085. That huge gap down on 54 million shares. Really haven't seen anything since then. Normally, a good indication is these narrow trading days that go sideways over a couple weeks of either accumulation or distribution. My guess is it's going to take a little while for this to get back out, but I wouldn't think that this actually is not too bad. You need it to get back into that trading range, though, above $10.85. Again, you can always give me a call. We've got one more segment left to go. Give me a ring at 877-927-6648, and we'll be glad to take your phone call at 877-927-6648.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Time is the great equalizer of all mankind. Time doesn't care about winners or losers, who succeeds or fails. Time only cares that you played the game. Question: are you playing the money game? Is your money working as hard for you as you are for it? I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter service, and we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary. In year 1, we generated a 30% profit. Plus, I provided 26 hours of live coaching to my clients. My daily newsletter service is available by 8 a.m. each day and covers the stock, futures, currency, and commodity markets, along with all the current patterns that you can trade. Each newsletter is packed with education, and it's yours for as little as $3 per day. And for the next 30 days, you can try it risk-free. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage of TFNN.com and begin your journey to great wealth today. If you're waiting for a better tomorrow, remember this: today's tomorrow will soon be yesterday, and your clock is ticking. Mastering Probability. Now is your time.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Well, we'll continue to look for stocks that are moving strongly. Not a whole lot of them out there. Walt Disney, just checking in. Eventually this thing's going to crack, but boy, is this making one beautiful move in the market. Let's see if we can set it on an overlay. This thing just continues to move higher and higher, and it really looks like we've set another high yet today. Of course, fairly light volume. Wouldn't be surprised if this thing tries to cash out at $52.50 on Friday. Let's see if we have any else stocks that looked interesting. Pull up a couple of them. There's a few out here that look like they're moving, but we're really starting to shut down, I think, for expiration. Most of that expiration movement will probably be over by tomorrow, probably around 1 or 2 by the time we start the show, and take a look at it. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of movement in the markets. Merck's up about 1.5% today, as we're seeing a lot of these stocks come back. We try to make one more test of their high. Merck MRK, of course, it had a nice little breakout. It came back. It did retest the previous low, that gap twice, and this time on very light volume. Before 20 million, 12 million, and 27 million shares on August 23rd. So kind of using that breakout from the what is that? The 12th of June. Is that right? 12th of July. Be 12th of July. And setting up kind of a trading pattern up here. But you'd like to see this thing come up to that previous and be in this candle with the previous 29 million shares with something approaching that. Looks like Merck is on a and in a consolidation range. Maybe one more testing of the $45 range and expiring at that on Friday to come back and try to see if it can't do anything more. And a lot of these stocks are moving. CAT's kind of interesting. Of course, it was a huge mover up to the highs of 116.95 on February 24th, where it started to sell off all the way down to $78.28. It has not retested that low. Came down, tried to, on $81.78 on September 5th. It looks like maybe it's done a fairly decent retracement. But still looks like it might make it back up to 100 and start making signs of an ABC down. Certainly like to see it eventually come back and maybe, just as hard as this pullback has been, test the October 4th low of $67.54 back in there. See if we got anything else. Kraft Foods came off the out of the Dow. Not much. Wanted to check in, see how Walmart is trading this week. WMT. We did see these both Friday and Target testing these highs. In the case of Walmart, on Friday it tested it with 15% lighter volume of the previous July 30th high that came in with 10 million shares, $75.24. We got within a nickel of that on Friday or Thursday last week, but we're seeing both of these kind of look like they're fairly TRG, isn't it, for Target? TRG, GT, TGT, right? Target, TGT, yeah. Target, another one, kind of the same thing, seeing previous high on the 15th of last month, 9 million shares. And this one, Target, looking just a little better with 9 million shares. Anyway, we all have a safe and wonderful day. And remember to talk like a pirate on your way home. Arr, me mateys. Arr, you scurvy dogs.